Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we sort through the messy world of corporate filings to find the juicy bits. Today we are diving into Fly A Group Incorporated's latest report. A report that might just give us a glimpse into some hairy situations the company is facing. Alright, so what is this all about? Well, Fly E Group Incorporated is telling us about a little hiccup they've had with the Nasdaq stock market. It seems they missed a deadline to file something called a Form 10Q. Think of the 10Q as a quarterly financial checkup for companies, and Fly E missed its due date for the period ending the 30th of September. 2025. This filing is basically them telling the world publicly that they got a notice from Nasdaq about this missed filing. It is not ideal, obviously, and it's a warning sign that they are not meeting one of Nasdaq's important rule, called Listing Rule 5250C1. Now, before you panic, the report clarifies that this notice is not an immediate threat to their stock being traded. It's more of a formal notification that they're in a bit of a bind. They have some time to fix it, but it's still a serious matter. So here is the timeline Fly Group has until later this year, specifically the 26th of January 2026, to come up with a plan for Nasdaq, a plan to show them how they will get back on track with their financial reporting. If Nasdaq likes the plan, they could get up to another 180 days, pushing the deadline to May 2026. But if they miss that deadline too, then delisting becomes a real possibility. That means their stock might not be traded on Nasdaq anymore. The company says they want to get back into compliance and plan to file the missing Form 10Q as soon as they finish preparing and reviewing their financial statements. Good intentions are nice, but execution is what matters here. They also put out a press release about this whole situation. It's important to note here that the report itself is dated the 5th of December 2025, and the press release was also issued on that date. This means they received the Nasdaq notice on the 25th of November 2025, and then within about 10 days they were announcing it to the public and filing this form. That's actually a pretty decent response time for a company dealing with this kind of issue. Now, like most corporate filings, this one is packed with what they call forward-looking statements. These are basically statements about what the company hopes or expects to happen in the future. The big disclaimer here is that these are not guarantees. Things like "we will meet Nasdaq compliance standards" or "Nasdaq will grant us relief from delisting" are things they hope for, but market forces and their own performance could easily make them incorrect. They even point to other previous filings for further details on risks, which is a pretty standard way to cover themselves legally. Just to remind everyone, their common stock trades on Nasdaq under the ticker symbol FLYE, and yes, they are considered an emerging growth company, which means they get some wiggle room with reporting rules, but clearly not enough to miss deadlines like this. Digging a bit deeper into the filing, the core of this report is under item 3.01, which is all about notices of delisting or failing to meet listing standards. As we've discussed, Fly E Group has failed to meet a continued listing standard because of that overdue period report. Finally, the filing includes a press release as an exhibit. This is essentially the same information we've just gone over, but in a format designed for public announcement. It confirms the company's awareness and acknowledgement of the situation. Now, looking at this report, what is the real story? Fly E Group Incorporated is a company that seems to be struggling with basic compliance, missing a filing deadline with Nasdaq. Even if it is not an immediate delisting offense, signals potential internal management issues or financial distress that is making them overlook or be unable to meet these crucial reporting requirements. The company's primary objective is to regain compliance, while they aim to file the missing Form 10Q soon. The fact that it is taking so long for their Q3 financial statements for 2025 to be ready raises questions. Are there significant accounting issues? Are they short-staffed in their finance department? Or is the business performance so chaotic that it is hard to get the numbers straight? We don't get financial tables in this specific 8K report, which would have given us a clearer picture of their performance. But the very reason for this filing points to underlying operational challenges. The risk here is clear. Continued non-compliance could lead to their stock being delisted from the Nasdaq. This would severely limit their ability to raise capital and would likely depress their stock price significantly. Investors would be wary of holding a stock that can't even meet the basic requirements of being publicly traded. For an emerging growth company, maintaining listing on a major exchange like Nasdaq is crucial for credibility and future growth. What does this mean for the future direction of Fly E Group? They are currently walking a tightrope while they have a 60-day window with a potential extension of another 180 days to fix this. The core issue of not filing on time needs to be addressed fundamentally. If they can quickly rectify this and get their financials in order, they might avoid the worst case scenario. However, if this is a symptom of deeper operational or financial distress, then the situation could unravel quickly. We will be watching closely to see if they can indeed regain compliance, and more importantly, if they can demonstrate a stable and healthy business in their future filings. The immediate takeaway is a warning sign for investors about the company's operational execution and adherence to regulatory standards. Alright, that is our breakdown of Fly Group's latest filing. What is your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.